Birdie is equipped with a CO2 sensor and an algorithm correlating to levels recommended by health authorities worldwide. It's made of recycled plastic and comes with a rechargeable battery and a wall mount. Smart on the inside, smooth on the outside.
Welcome, Hans. This is one episode that I've really been looking forward to because it's at the heart of creativity. Hans is call himself a Cuckoo Director and co-founder, but actually used to work in the advertising industry. Welcome, Hans.
Thank you, Thomas. Really awesome to be here. And the Cuckoo Director, I just felt like mixing the creative director thing up. But I think it describes it quite well. I do everything in this company, so it is kind of cuckoo.
I absolutely love that. And what is not cuckoo, which we're going to talk about today, is this idea of side hustle. I think in the industry we are at a sort of weird existential crisis in the sense that we've lost the sense of purpose. Basically, we're promoting consumption and we're sort of forgetting the basis of what creativity can do. And why I love to talk to you was that in 2022 you entered this amazing project that we just saw called Birdie, and we're going to talk about what that is, into D&AD. You started at the Kickstarter, but this idea that you have something lying in the drawer. You were creative at Uncle Gray at the time, I think 28 years old, but what made you sort of think that, why don't I just pitch that to an agency client? Why did you think that you had something that was bigger than that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I came into the industry like 5 years ago. Before that, I went to creative communication school, visual communication studies in Copenhagen. And what really inspired me about the industry was this method called story doing, which is applied in so many projects we see these days. I think Volvo Live Paint is a good example. Back Up Ukraine by Virtue recently, also super good example. Same goes with Carlsberg, this six-pack, what is it called, snapback, like packaging without packaging, basically. But this idea of solving a problem with a solution, and not just making a campaign, raising awareness for a product or something like that. I felt that was so inspiring because suddenly you replace TV commercial, print ad, all of those classical campaign elements with actually product innovation and problem solving. So I felt that that was so inspiring. But then I
There's
got kind of
there's a doing part to the story which I like, because I think a lot of creatives get so obsessed with the idea, and in some ways ideas are cheap. I mean, we can all get ideas. What I love about your thing about the side hustles and the sort of idea about having is to make it happen. And I think this is something that lacks in our industry, in fact, that having a great idea, we go to an award show, we don't really do anything else about it. And I've seen that a lot at D&AD and Cannes, but you made it happen from a beautiful cuckoo idea, a crazy idea, and now you're running a company.
Yeah, and I think, you asked me like, so why didn't I just throw it away to an agency? I mean, Velux, the window company, they could easily have run that, but I just saw what happened to a lot of these story doing ideas in the industry, and what I saw was that a lot of them just like shut down after the awards was won, after the CMO got a promotion. So I just thought like, hey, if I'm gonna give this cuckoo crazy good idea to a brand, it will just be shut down after the campaign ends. And I felt like the lifespan of this had a much greater potential, and also business potential.
What a great miss for Velux, which is basically, for those who don't know it, has this concept about daylight and fresh air, and actually, just to quickly explain people, there was a bit in the video, but but what is Birdie actually? Because it's a beautiful bird, but what is that story in fact, and where did the idea
It's
come from?
really, it's a good question because it is a unique product that you don't really see other places. But it's an indoor air quality monitor that looks like a canary bird, just like the birds you used back in the mines. When the air got toxic, bird would faint, and you knew it was time to get up from the mine. And this one works exactly the same. So when you're sitting at home and getting dizzy without knowing, the bird will drop dead when the CO2 level is at a maximum level. It's the threshold is set by international standards for what is considered unhealthy. So what you do is when it hangs like this, you open a window like this, and then you ventilate for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on how how bad it is, and then automatically the bird will pop right back up, um,
Amazing.
like
I
this.
think we all know this feeling about being in a stuffed indoor environment, and I think this is sort of storytelling and doing in practice, in fact. But getting into it, because a lot of our viewers today might be saying, okay, so I have this great idea. I really felt inspired by Hans's story. How the heck did you do it though? I mean, you went on Kickstarter, and I guess that went well, but the stamina, the what made you do that drive? What
Yeah, so I think, I mean, a side hustle is something you do next to work. I think that's the definition. And
Yeah.
I did that with my friend with this project, doing evenings and weekends. We slowly moved forward. We got a prototype, then we got an engineer on board, then we got another prototype. And then suddenly, like a year after, we had this prototype that just looked production ready. And then we looked at each other for what is the excuse to not go full in on it. So yeah, what we did was we filmed a video. I knew how to do that. I knew how to make a good commercial, and then we put it on Kickstarter, which I think is an amazing tool for side hustle who want to make it into the main hustle. Because what Kickstarter is, it's a platform to make ideas come to life. You put your idea up, and then people will pay you in advance because they believe in the product, and then you'll have the finance to actually go make that product. It could be a film, it could be a physical product, it could be an app, it could be kind of anything. And yeah, we did that, and during 30 days we raised $500,000. So we had the money to buy the production tools, to hire an engineer, to give ourselves salary, which is like a really privileged thing to be able to do day one at a startup. But we have been able to do that, and I have been doing that since.
So there's really, I mean, there's really no excuse today in some ways, because the tools are out there. I think the barriers for creating a company today is just, depending obviously of the country, but it's just much easier than it's ever been.
Yes.
Um, and so tell me right now, because going from being a creative to suddenly being, I guess, a CEO of a company, how is that?
Yeah, it's a lot of things. I mean, the grass is always greener on the other side. I miss my project manager. Uh, I miss my creative colleagues. I have a partner, and I really love him. He's my best friend, but he's also a finance guy. So when I want to discuss creative matters, you can feel kind of alone. Um, but generally, I really don't feel a huge difference in like day-to-day work. I mean, I throw ideas in my notes every day. I open up Final Cut Pro, I do videos, I put them online, I make a meme, I make a story, I get ideas for who can we use as influencers. So a lot of the tasks are actually the same. It's just on the same client. I think one of the really nice thing is I don't have to ask permission because I'm the brand owner, I'm the CEO. So if I get a good idea, I just do it. And I think that the rapidness is also what makes my brand come alive, maybe a bit more than one of the big ones, because I'm not so afraid of what I can say and cannot say. I can't get fired, so I'm not afraid of taking a responsibility of a stupid idea. I can just say like, well, yeah, it wasn't that good, but what you're gonna do? Fire me? So yeah, it's an
I,
interesting.
I absolutely love that. I think that a really good takeaway from this conversation is maybe this idea about just do it, because basically there is no excuse as a creative. And I think sometimes that if we work in the creative industry, we should be risk takers, else we might as well just go work for a bank.
Yeah,
So thank you so much, Hans, for joining us here today and sharing your ideas about how actually to turn ideas side hustle, something that was a piece of paper, something you talked about with a friend, into a thriving business. And also, last, I will encourage all of you to go and check out birdie.design to maybe get a bit of fresh air that breathes fresh ideas. So thank you so much, Hans, for joining us here today at 10.
thank you, Thomas. It was a pleasure to chat. Bye.